Hey guys, I'm back here to talk to you about interviews. Yes, that's right. I said interviews. I know most of you are pretty scared and terrified of interviews, but that's why you're here and I'm gonna help you. So don't worry. I'm gonna teach you what to do before an interview, during an interview, and after an interview. So let's get started. What do you do before an interview? You're gonna wanna research 3 things: yourself, the company, and the industry. It's really important to research yourself, which means to research and think back and try to find 10 things that you could tell a story about on how you created change or generated revenues or decreased costs for a company based on your job description and the tasks that you did. So you want to say it in a short story that's very concise. You want to say, I helped create communication across 5 departments, which helped increase revenues and decrease costs because of communication. And I did that using this software, this program, this project management, or this tasks. So whatever it was that you did that increased revenues, decreased costs, or generated sales, or whatever it is that you're applying for that job and they're gonna want you to do, you're gonna wanna show how you did that in a very concise story. Don't ramble, don't go on and on. That's why you need to research yourself and find a very good statement of what you did. Try to find 10 things and then narrow those 10 things down to around 5 different things so that you can go in with those 5 stories and use those 5 stories during your interview. So that's research number 1. Then research number 2, you're gonna wanna research the company. If you know who you're interviewing with, you're gonna wanna go on LinkedIn and you're gonna wanna find that profile. You're gonna wanna find out everything that you need to know about that person in order to understand that person and know who they are before you go into the interview. That's gonna help you. As well as you're gonna wanna know the company's mission statement, their values, and why they're in business. You don't wanna go to an interview and not know anything about the company. You wanna know everything about the company, who the CEO is, why they're doing what they're doing, who's doing it, and as much information as you could possibly find. I recommend going on Glassdoor. That's a company that puts reviews of previous coworkers or current employees, and they're gonna tell you their experiences, and you can even find the job that you're researching or you're gonna apply for and see what people are saying about that job. That's gonna give you some more details about the company and if it's a good company or a bad company and what people who worked for the company are saying about the company. And that's a really good skill to have, is to know how to research companies. So go to Glassdoor and check it out, check all the reviews out, and then go to their website and make sure you scan every page, every product, so you can understand what it is this company is doing, and make sure you review your job description. And I recommend printing out that job description so you can take it with you. That way, if you're trying to explain something and maybe a person gets off topic, you can take the job description and come back on topic by saying a question or an answer about the job description. That will show that you're very engaged in that job description and what you could do for the company. Then you're gonna wanna research the industry. You're gonna wanna know the competitors. You're gonna know if the industry is increasing, decreasing, and what new innovations are happening in the industry. That way it shows that you really care about the industry and that you're motivated by the industry by actually researching. And I have to say, researching is one of the most important things about interviewing, because they already know information about you. They just want to know if you're a good fit when you get into that interview. So research. Then the second thing is what you're going to wear. So I recommend wearing a fitted suit. You want to look really nice in your fitted suit. You don't want to wear a baggy outfit that doesn't fit you or makes you look like you don't care about yourself or the interviewer. You want to go in there looking your best. For women, I highly recommend to pin up your hair away from your face, or you can curl your hair really nice and you can keep it down. And I also recommend, if you wear eyeglasses, to wear your eyeglasses during the interview. You can take them on and off. The eyeglasses always makes you look a little bit smarter. And I recommend making sure that your shoes are clean and shiny and that they're not dirty. And if you're wearing open-toed shoes for girls, make sure that you have your manicure and your pedicure on point, because a manager could shake your hand and see your manicure or your pedicure when they look down, and they will not want to hire you based on just hygiene alone. So make sure you smell good, that it's not too overbearing. You don't want to wear a lot of perfumes because some people might have allergies or be allergic. So you want to just tone down on the perfumes, but you want to make sure you wear deodorant, that you took a shower, that you're clean, that you brush your teeth, that your breath smells nice, and make sure that you are just looking your best during that interview. You can even try to find out what the company dress code is by researching that also on LinkedIn or Glassdoor, or going on their website and seeing pictures of the organization, and maybe they have events that they do, and seeing what people wear, so you kind of know if you need to dress like in a suit or if you need to dress a little bit down. You can even ask the person if there's a dress code for the interview, but make sure you look your best. So that is number 2 for what to do before the interview. And lastly, I want to discuss with you behavioral questions. So I know that we went through researching yourself and telling a story, but there's going to be behavioral questions that they're going to go through. They just want to know who you are. So they're going to say, tell me something about yourself. And you're going to want to say a very concise story about who you are and what you do. So I'm an operations manager that helps increase revenues and decrease costs for my company. That's a very concise, straight to the point, who I am and what I do. And that's what you're going to want to do in your behavioral questions. So that's why I told you those 5 stories should be very concise, because those are behavioral type scenarios. And you're going to want to use those throughout the questions. So I recommend going online, finding a list of behavioral questions, and going through those and seeing how your story fits into each one of those questions. But be very concise and to the point. So those are the 3 things I want you to do. Research, pick out your outfit and what you're going to wear, and make sure that you research behavioral questions so you know how to put those stories into a question that's behavioral questions, because those are usually the questions that they're going to ask you. Now we're going to go into what to do in an interview.